adjourn 6:30. All right, off we go. Good evening, everyone. Welcome to the Shrewsbury Zoning Board of Appeals meeting for May 22nd, 2023. I will first read an important notice. Pursuant to Chapter 107 of the Act of 2022, Senate Bill 307, signed into law by the governor on July 16th, 2022, suspending certain provisions of the open meeting law. This meeting of the zoning board will be conducted via remote participation to the greatest extent possible. All meetings and hearings listed in the agenda will also be done so through remote participation. Specific information and the general guidelines for remote participation by members of the public and/or parties with a right and/or requirement to attend this meeting can be found on the town's website at www.shrewsburymass.gov/coronavirus. No in-person attendance of members of the public will be permitted, but every effort will be made to ensure that the public can adequately access the proceedings in real time via technological means. In the event that we are unable to do so, despite our best efforts, we will post on the town's website an audio or video recording, transcript, or other comprehensive record of proceeds as soon as possible after the meeting. To participate in the public comment portion of this meeting, dial 1-269-767-8015 and enter the following PIN, 477-046-700#. Please mute your devices until the chair of the zoning board addresses your agenda item or opens the meeting to public comment. Okay, first order of business is to sign a few bills. I would welcome a motion to approve bills for $99 to the community advocate for the May 22nd, 2023 legal notices, as well as a $49.40 bill to WB Mason for office supplies. Can I please get a motion?
I move to approve the bills as stated.
Second?
Seconded.
Thank you. All in favor? Anne?
Aye.
Aye.
Aye. Kevin, aye. David? Aye. Peter Mulcahy?
Aye.
Mary Beth Lynch, aye. So moved. Thank you. On to our first public hearing for this evening. This is a public hearing. Give me 1 second. Get our legal notice out. Okay. This is to hear the appeal of William Gaudette, 400 Oak Street, Shrewsbury, Mass. For a variance to the Shrewsbury zoning bylaws, section 7B, table 2, to construct a deck with a non-conforming rear yard setback of 39.9 feet on a pre-existing non-conforming dwelling in the Residence B2 zoning district. The subject premise is described on the Shrewsbury Assessor's Tax Plate 46, plot 10700. And we welcome Mr. Gaudette. If you could please state your name for the record and give us an idea of what you would like to do on your property.
Sure. My name is William Gaudette. Good evening, and thank you for considering my application. My request is to build a deck in my backyard, large enough for my family to enjoy and accommodate family gatherings, and that includes my brother-in-law who is in a wheelchair, and also to keep a safe distance from the house for grilling and space heaters. And although the deck will be in my backyard, which is surrounded by a 6-foot fence, and it won't be visible from the street, it will be aesthetically pleasing, and it will add value to my property. I spoke with my neighbors who welcome this deck, and they don't have any issues or concerns, and they have provided a letter for the board's review as well.
Okay, thank you. Mr. McGoldrick, any further information that you would like to add?
Thank you. I think the applicant summed it up very well. So this is a variance request from table 2 for the rear yard setback. In terms of hardship, we're looking at somewhat of a small lot with some very, although it is pretty square and regularly dimensioned, it does have some slight sloping in the rear yard that the board may wish to consider. That's it.
Thank you, Chris. Comments from the board. Let's start with, Peter.
Sure. I think I'm a little bit unclear, I think, as to the hardship. It looks like the house is pretty similarly situated as to the other houses in the neighborhood, and I think the slope is probably the same also. I think we could go with the previously existing structures, which obviously limits where you can place a deck, the fact that the house is where it is. And my understanding is size of the lot is actually not something in the statute that we can consider. But I think even if the hardship issue is sort of less clear here, I think when it comes to something like a deck, I think it's much less likely to go against the purposes of the bylaw. And so for that reason, I'm not particularly concerned about it. So I think it's probably okay.
Thank you. Anne?
I agree with Peter.
Great. Kevin?
Same sentiments as Peter, given reasoning towards hardship and looking at the plans as well. I mean, there's only, I think I count 3 risers, so the deck barely comes up maybe 2 feet off the ground total. And certainly having comment letters from neighbors in support certainly helps my case with being okay with it.
Okay, great. David?
Yeah, everything that I have to say is has already been covered by Peter and Kevin, so I'm in agreement with them.
Great. And I would agree. There's nothing that I could further add that has not already been expressed. So thank you to all my colleagues for that. Given that this is a public hearing, is there any member of the public that wishes to be heard on this? This is always the fun part. I'm going to give it 10 seconds just to make sure, but I don't think we have anybody on this call.
We do. There's a Rick Lynch and then a phone call in. I'm not
So
sure
I'm
who
Rick
that
Lynch.
attendee is.
And
Oh,
I
no,
don't know.
sorry.
That's okay. Remember, I had to jump into my husband's office for that. There
Yeah.
is one other. All right. I do believe that we have given enough consideration and time to be sure that there's no public comment. Can I entertain a motion to close the public hearing, please?
I move to close the public hearing.
Can I get a second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Ann?
Sorry.
Peter?
Aye.
Aye.
David?
Aye.
Kevin?
Aye.
Mary Beth, aye. So moved. Thank you. Might I entertain a motion, please?
I move to approve the variance under section 7B, table 2, to construct a deck with a non-conforming rear yard setback of 31.9 feet on a pre-existing non-conforming dwelling located at 400 Oak Street in the Residence B2 district.
Thank you. Can I get a second?
Second.
Thank you. All in favor? Peter?
Aye.
Ann?
Aye.
Kevin?
Aye.
David?
Aye.
Mary Beth Lynch? Aye. So moved. Thank you very much, Mr. Gaudette, for attending our meeting. And to that, I will need to entertain a motion to adjourn, please.
Yes, and thank you.
You're welcome. Thank you.
I move to adjourn.
Can I get a second?
Second.
All in favor by a show of hands? So moved. Thank you very much, everyone. We'll see you all next month.
Good night, everyone.